Welcome, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love, to Astro Fenixx, flying into the moment yet again and radiating love as always. And welcome to the Shooting Star Daily for today, February 21st of 2020. Thank you so much for joining me in this video. And what's going on with today's energies? Well, the sun today has moved to 2 degrees of Pisces, which of course is bringing the sun energy, the I create energy, the I love sort of energy into the Pisces realm of beliefs and fantasies. But there's an underlying current of the 2 energy, which is relating to the moon, relating to Cancer. This in many ways is kind of prepping us for the new moon in Pisces that's going to be occurring later on in just a couple of days. It's actually going to be at 4 degrees. So we're kind of almost getting like these pre-new moon kind of vibes with today. Today's going to be a day where we want to really feel our creation, to really feel the fantasy, kind of feel and intuit where things are heading. As far as this energy goes, it's still a very passionate day. Whenever the sun's in the first 9 degrees of a sign, it really takes on more of like a personal aspect until you get to like the later degrees. Then it kind of goes out into like our most direct community, our friends or family. Then as the last 10 degrees of a sign, it gets a little bit more global and a little bit more on the widespread. But the first 10 degrees are always a lot more personal. So today's going to be a day where it's like you want to actually feel passionate about your fantasy. You want to feel passionate about what you're creating and what you're moving forward, and these dreams that you have in your imagination. So it's like today might be a day where it's like if you don't necessarily feel it, you may not necessarily want to go through with it. You may not necessarily want to do these things, but it's not just enough to do something that you enjoy or whatever. It's not just enough to have the imagination or to try and envision it. This is more like you really want to feel it in the depths of your soul, in a sense. So let's see what the oracle card that we have. Today we actually have the card of the Great Adventure. Take a risk and venture forward. I think this is really what we're wanting to feel. It's not just enough, like I said, to have the vision. It's not just enough to have the vision board. It's not just enough to, have the fantasy or maybe even write it down or maybe write down an affirmation. We really want to actually feel it. And the way that you're really going to feel it is if you take a risk and you venture forward, you go on that adventure, you cast any type of worries or fears or anxieties aside and you just go for it. When you travel to a new place, whether that's an actual new physical location or maybe you go to a new restaurant, like it becomes definitely a very much so like a feeling kind of energy. It's like you can go to the same place, all the time, and it can be great and it's cool, but taking a risk on something new, there's something that comes up from that. There's this sort of quintessential sensation that comes from, being bold and going forward and actually just going for it, with, throwing caution to the wind and just putting that wind behind, putting the wind of like freedom and excitement behind yourselves and letting it carry you onto this next adventure. This is a very creative time with the sun in the first 10 degrees of Pisces, and it can be very like dreamy and stuff like that and very imaginative. And sometimes we can get even kind of caught up in that, maybe even get caught up in the escapism. So be wary that you don't use this adventure to escape any type of responsibilities that you have. I say that because we still have a lot of this Capricorn energy. We got Mars here, we got Jupiter here, we got Pluto, we got Saturn, we got the South Node. It's not that the universe doesn't want us to live out our dreams. It's just that if we're escaping our responsibilities and we're trying to take shortcuts, then we're going to find that these dreams aren't really going to manifest the way that we want. And if we're so focused on the timing of it, instead of just kind of going with the flow of things, because Pisces is very much so a go with the flow kind of energy, we have to learn how to go with the flow, but also know when is the right time to take a risk and actually move forward. So today is actually one of those days where you want to just be bold and go for it, but go with the flow. Don't have expectations on how this adventure is going to play out and how it's going to unfold. Just allow the passion and the creativity that you feel in your heart to carry you. You will find yourself on the banks of a wonderful lake with like sparkling water and the mountains in the background, and it's just the sun shining, or maybe it's not shining. Maybe you like walking around in the rain or something like that. Maybe it's raining or something, or maybe it's a little windy, maybe it's snowing, who knows? But you'll find yourself looking out at the day. I'm using it as a metaphor, right? I'm using it as a metaphor, looking out at the day at this beautiful landscape, and you just take in that deep breath. And you realize just how beautiful this life really is, and how much of a miracle it is, and how much of a gift it really is. That is going to be it for the reading today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you like a personal reading with me, beloved, you can follow the link in the description below to astrofenixx.com. And as always, my beautiful brothers and sisters, always remember to keep moving forward, to stay focused, and Yahoo! Smile often. Peace out, guys.